do some pictures. We're determining Tawny's babies. Oh, another one. Okay.
That's the other girl. So basically, I got these two girls here.
I'm just going to show everything that you send. Because
they're fun.
Okay, so here are the two babies together.
Well,
yeah, they're just pictures I found. But
Oh, good lord.
Okay.
Fucking Christ.
That's awesome.
Here's one of them. You'll have to come up with names. They're both girls. We've just determined.
Yeah, actually, that's the boy one, so we don't have to do that one.
Well, one of them's rough and tumble and big boned, and one of them's well refined and thin boned.
The last one is the rough and tumble one. She's got different hair colored. So, yeah, that one doesn't count.
That's what I was thinking.
These are high elf, long tooth shifter.
That one's
hybrids.
the delicate one, as you could tell. She's the high elf one.
Oh my god.
Look at the feet. Aren't those adorable?
no.
This is Tawny goes through the castle
Nightmare fuel.
with her.
Straight nightmare fuel.
No, there's the rough and tumble one.
Oh my god.
Isn't she
my
cute?
God.
She goes around the castle to the different shops showing off her babies.
Oh,
do you
look
want
at
to hold
the
them?
tootsies.
And everyone's just horrified.
Aren't they just the cutest little things?
Oh man.
Ooh, that was fun looking for those too. Oh,
In case anybody ever wants to see them again in the future, I'll go ahead and make all those handouts for everybody's reference.
So
I don't even know what kind of search parameters you use.
Baby werewolves. That's all I looked.
That's what I want to know.
Isn't
Who
it
has
cute?
spent their precious time sitting there? You're like,
Hey, Ben.
They're stuffed animals for Halloween.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Wow.
serious.
Oh,
Yeah.
Either way.
There's so many more pictures too. Like, oh, they're so cute. They got some really cute ones.
What were you gonna say there, Cord?
I added 2 to hers.
Okay.
I haven't edited it in.
I'll go ahead and put that on my layer then, just so that I have it before I forget.
Everywhere, but I made it in somewhere.
Skype's chopping up for me again.
Me too.
Already.
I think it's on his end.
Yeah, I don't have any problems on any others.
Good.
Okay, there's the second one. Did not expect you to go through and generate some children just then. That is horrifying.
She's so cute.
And then the last one. All right.
So
you guys can go in and take pictures anytime.
So
just there's a few different versions in there, so you guys can really get the full effect.
Okay.
There's only 2, and she'll get them named, and then
I'll name them.
we'll separate them out. Here, what I'll do is
I could have give you more too, but I won't.
thanks. I'm going to give you access to be able to edit them, and you can just go in and change the names.
They have so many in here. Like, you know that one photographer that puts the babies in the weirdest positions and, fancies them up? There's so many of these werewolf ones like that.
I'm not familiar.
Anne Gerb or something like that. I can't remember her name. But yeah, there's tons of baby werewolves out there.
Oh man, that's just freaky. Okay.
Really weird.
Freaky as shit, man.
I win.
You do win. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Glad we got that sorted out. I'll make a highlight of that. That was fun. I was mentioning time frames earlier, so Diablo did go missing, and so no sooner than those fuzzy little bundles of joy pop out, and Tawny's on the prowl looking for Diablo. And so first place she goes is the Feywild, because that's where she got Diablo. Remember, she went when she changed her paladin, what's it called, the oath, to the Defender of Nature, and went and protected an old ruin. And well, she didn't do great. The ruin ended up getting destroyed anyway, but she had the choice between Nightmare and a unicorn, but they were both serving nature. And so she figures the best place to go to find what happened to Diablo is the Feywild. So she catches up with you guys in that way. So I'll go ahead and
So
move you
we're still
guys.
on the mountain?
Yep, you're still on the mountain. And looks like Korg as well has come through the Feywild with Tawny. So they'll be arriving together. And Arnold caught back up to you guys.
And Arnold came back. That's nice.
So there's the crowd. The gang's all here. Got a big crowd here. Got an army.
Including the dead
all-
body.
Yep, the remains of Azoth. As you can probably see, Dana, I have left Azoth in your journal, so you can still, if you just happen to need to look up any information, but you can no longer control him or edit him. As, he's well,
Okay.
and we just established that Bragon did eat him, and you were, I made a verb out of it, you have been circled of life. As Bragon ate your remains and took off. Yeah. Make something beautiful out of a horrible death.
And I
So I am-
buried whatever was left of you.
So
which
I
is
am
not
fertilizer.
much.
Yes. Yep, pushing up daisies.
Make something beautiful, fertilizer.
Yep.
Oh.
So I mentioned before, differences in timeline. So for Waterdeep quests or anything going on there, Tawny is still pregnant for a while. But this time gets weird when you go to the Feywild. And there were some observations you guys were able to make with Jadamu. Remember when you were talking to him, he said that he only came yesterday. But when you start comparing notes with him and the condition you found the pyramids, because you were outside, you were inside, you've been around there a little bit, it's been about 100 years in material world time since Jadamu went through the portal. So he's been in the Feywild for 100 years, your time.
Oh
Like
my.
I said, the Feywild laws of nature are only suggestions. Time, distances, even races and physicalities are suggestive,
They called
subjective.
us.
Yeah, and I did forget to get the new guy, so we got some introductions to do here as well. Well, this may be good and it may be bad. Korg and Tawny, you would have been joined at the castle by this guy who's looking for Arnold, I believe.
Yes.
And so Ryan's not here. I forgot. There we go. Thin out the herd a little. So I have everybody else on the board now, looks like. And so Tawny and Korg, this guy shows up at the castle. This guy here. And as you pointed out, that's not what he looks like normally, right?
Yeah, it's him raging. He's has a pretty blank face normally.
Okay, so how do you want to approach the situation?
Well, in the castle, I would probably go up to Igmar or the closest person I could find, just asking for Arnold where he's at.
Okay. You'd probably run into
Plain.
Tawny and her double stroller going around the castle
Double
showing off the
stroller.
babies.
I ignore the babies and ask Tawny where's Arnold.
Where's Arnold?
Just looking for Arnold.
Well, last time I saw Arnold, he was on an adventure. I came home for a while. Where is Arnold? Do you know where Arnold is? I'm sorry, babies make me crazy. I'm kind of not with it. But look at the babies. Aren't they cute? Look at all their tootsies.
Yes, can we find Arnold?
I know he had an owlbear.
No, he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't at that time. No, last time I saw him, he was going into an adventure with Ingmar down in the Zappy room.
Yeah.
Because he walks by the stable, I see him.
Last time you saw him, he was wiping his eyes and hoping nobody noticed and carrying a new amulet. And had
Oh
a
yeah, he came back to the
determined,
cage.
he
That's
had a
right.
determined look on his face as he headed for the portal.
Yep, he was heading to the portal.
Where is the portal?
You don't know where the portal is? It's just around the stables. Watch your step. There might be a pile. Let's go that way. Oh wait, I gotta get my hubby there to watch the children.
So you just drop him off and take off.
Yeah, well, one of the 4 guys I own will take care of them.
Just more livestock for you.
They're babies. Yeah, here you go. And I leave.
Okay.
Addison will take care of them.
I don't know if you guys notice or not, but Korg tags along.
Oh, we cannot notice him.
Oh, Korg's fairly nondescript.
At least until the fireballs start.
Yeah, well, yeah. Everybody knows who Korg is, but to look through a crowd, he's, man without a face.
Korg just seems kind of like he's there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Until I take a fireball in the back.
Well, everybody knows to watch out for Korg. All right, so unless you guys have anything else, you could head on through the usual strange series of events and the odd winding path it takes to get to this point.
Whee!
Yeah, it's kind of a roller coaster. Went through all that yesterday. I'll spare you guys the long winding road. You're currently heading up the Dawnforge Mountains looking for King Ivir and Queen Frafni, or the Three Sisters. At this point, Arnold, Mongrel, and Tawny and Korg would show up, finding Havlar and Qatar, Ashfire and Grift have just buried Azoth, and getting ready to head on up the cliff, maybe, but they look pretty beat up.
When Griff sees Arnold, he's gonna run up to him and say, "Candyman, Candyman, fix Birdie Man, he's broken."
Who's broken? What happened?
Birdie
Nice to
Man,
see you again, Arnold. Glad you could join us.
Birdie Man, fall hard, go splat.
Birdie Man's over here. Not me.
Oh,
This
not
guy.
you. Not the Birdman, but
Not the
the
Birdman.
Birdie Man.
The
Not
Birdie Man, not the
Birdman,
Birdman.
Birdie Man. Birdman goes splat too, but Birdman okay.
Okay. Guess I'm gonna take a look at him.
He's
Yep.
buried.
There's
He's
like
dead.
there's like nothing left.
There's a
So he just
Yep.
pretty
uh,
nice
He's dead.
red, there's a bit of
grave,
gore and a
so-
red smear heading this direction.
Yep, he's dead.
He's in a grave, Griff. What am I supposed to do?
Do candy magic.
I don't do that kind of candy magic.
How long has he been dead?
Yeah. A while now. Half his body is over with his owlbear, and the other half is under the ground.
Well, I've got Revivify, but if he's been dead for more than a minute or his body parts are scoon everywhere, I can't bring him back.
Yeah.
So,
It's a problem.
yeah.
I think he went out like he would have wanted to.
All really hard?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Birdie Man have weird tastes.
That's what I was thinking.
Now, if you guys are looking around for a place to maybe set up camp or rest and recover,
This is a camp, no?
there is a cave to the northeast.
I feel like it's a bad idea to set up camp here.
Another
Let's go up
cave.
to the cave, yeah.
Yeah, as you guys found out,
Yeah, sure, let's go into a
assaults
camp.
from
We
the
don't
air
know.
are common.
Yeah. But this would be the last place they'd expect us to be.
You mean in the tents that they expect things to be living in?
Exactly.
Yes.
Should we just head up to the camp?
Cave.
I'd rather head up to the cave.
That's what I meant.
Cave!
Alright.
Because yeah, you
I
guys.
really need to rest.
Yeah, some of you need a rest, and some of you, such as those who just showed up, probably want to know what all happened. What's the story going in here?
Has anybody
That's
seen
north.
Diablo?
Isn't
No.
it in the northeast?
Oh, this is northwest.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah, I
fire
don't wanna
lady
know
don't
what
have
those
fire
are.
horse?
If you guys just gather up, I'll move you all at once. Make it easy.
Yeah, why's Diablo not with you?
I don't know. Diablo poofed. Oh, there's the cave.
Yeah, I got you guys all now.
Oh, there's the cave.
What do you mean he poofed? Where'd he go?
I don't know. I'm still trying to find him. I can't call him. He won't show up. Something's happened. Something's taken him away from me and blocked me from retrieving him again. I need my Diablo. I
That's
miss
neat.
Diablo.
Oh shit.
What fire lady without fire horse?
He's half my soul. You don't understand. I have to ride this stick of a broom to fly anywhere, and it's just humiliating, and I just miss my Diablo.
Maybe he's stuck in the ethereal
It's bad
plane.
for fire
You
lady.
try going to look there?
I can't get to the ethereal plane without Diablo.
Oh. Fair enough.
I wish I had my glasses so that I could find my glasses.
My Firefox died. Sure enough. Well, one of them did.
I mean, Ingmar might have a spell or something. Did you ask him?
Amar was down hooty chooty doing it up with those warrior maidens again. I keep
Well,
seeing him down there.
Of course he was. Hey, wait a minute. You aren't pregnant anymore. You have the babies?
Well, do you want to see pictures?
What? Picture?
Huh?
I open up my bag of holding and I pull out a film reel. Yeah, no, we got lots of pictures. I got art, I got sketches and drawings and decorated
And they're all
stones
stick
and
man like.
macaroni necklaces and
Oh,
my
they're
babies are advanced.
they're beautiful.
Yeah, the darker
Fire lady babies don't look like fire lady.
well, they look like me a little. They got my feet and my nose and my claws and my fur. The littler one, she looks like her dad.
Who is the dad?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's Addison.
So
Damn
it
elf.
doesn't look. That doesn't look like an elf.
It's the best I could do, man. You don't like my babies?
Well, congratulations, Tawny. Beautiful. They're gonna grow up to be nice and strong, just like their mom.
Well, definitely one of them. Gillian. Gillian's gonna be strong. Don't know about Lorelai. She's kind of
Don't worry,
delicate.
she's gonna be beautiful.
Lorelai seems like the smarter of the bunch.
Her fur is
I'd
very
say.
thin, and I think it's starting to come out. I don't know what's wrong with her. Maybe she's got mange or something.
Nope. You might want to
Maybe
get that
she
checked
like
out.
fire mister instead of fire lady.
That's a good point.
Oh, here we go. This is
He's got a point.
Oh god, don't show that.
No, I don't. Guys, don't make a look up hairless dog
No,
werewolf babies. That no.
there's so many things that
Oh
Google does
man, I
wrong.
had fun with that stuff.
Okay, my Firefox is reloaded. Everything looks like it's okay. Okay.
Well, that's what that is. There we go.
Just reviewing my notes here real quick as well.
I'm turning on my helmet light before we go into the cave.
Okay.
I'm also turning on my lantern and filling it with oil.
I'll have Artis out and would have said the command word.
Yeah, our task will pretty well illuminate the whole thing, so I'll just, you got that lantern too, so. Arnold, you'll know that your hammer is lit, but it really doesn't put a dent in all the lantern, and the bow is 80 feet of light, 40 of bright light, so.
Griff will turn on his new goggles. They are doggles, if you will.
Doggles.
Toggles.
Alright, so, yep, you guys had a chance to kind of chit-chat, review. Here is the, tell you what. And of course, Mongrel is just right there on Arnold, I see. Couldn't give me initiatives. Let's see who goes in the cave first, just so I have a marching order. Not that anything untoward is going to happen.
Says the
Griff would
DM.
like to ask people to let him go first.
Well, I always have to let you guys know.
Griff say, Griff, go first. Check for traps. Griff find traps.
Well,
Find traps.
Korg's not going first.
Do all of your characters have like no health?
No, Korg has lots of health. He's just slow.
He is.
Cork just hanging out.
Oh, I see. You rolled the same initiative as Griff. Okay.
Yeah. Korg's usually in the front, if he can ever catch up.
Yep. Okay, so it's between
I know.
Arnold and Ashfire. Who wants to kind of duck in first? You don't have to be first if you don't want to be, but I want to give everybody a chance to do something, and that's why I had to go initiative. With 8 people, I gotta pace myself.
I can go first.
Okay. So if Arnold, what did you say, Ashfire, where you're gonna go next?
Yeah.
Okay. With Ashfire and Arnold going in first, is anybody else gonna hesitate or hold back, or just move you guys in kind of in initiative order?
Yeah. No.
That's fine.
I'll go in.
I'm sure Mongrels, he already mentioned, is right on Arnold's heels. Half-Arn would be next, right here. Scooch in. You guys are able to see as you come in. Whoops. Grab your bow. There's you. Guitar. Cork and Hooters. And
Okay.
Griff, kind of side by side. And wow, Tawny. Bringing up the back. All the way in the back.
I got extra weight on my belly still.
Baby weight.
Baby weight.
There's your lantern.
If it's any consolation, I would have dashed to try and catch up to the front.
Well, this is kind of like you guys come traipsing into the cave, and a small army barely fits in this little cave, and you can see that it's already occupied. 3 people are inside, surrounding what looks like a vat of boiling liquid. The first one on the left is this one.
Tiny people.
They are quite small, little flittering wings. The one at the bottom is this one. And the one on the right is this one. And as you guys come in, they clap their hands, and gouts of glowing dust flies off of their wings and their hands as they clap them and giggle and move back to let you guys come in, and they beckon for you to enter.
Oh, all right. The sisters, I presume.
One sec. So that's what you say as you come in?
Yeah.
Okay, yep. Ashfire season class feature.
Tiny ladies. Grip smell magic.
All right. Have Lauren jumps to the front, and yep, they'll move back and beckon and invite you guys in, and they all giggle and chit chat amongst themselves, whisper in each other's ears, and greet you guys. Katari come in and say three sisters, and they smile and they nod, and this one steps forward and she says, "Yes, we are the three sisters, and welcome to our cave."
Well, thank you. So, didn't expect to see you guys so soon, I guess.
They say, "Well, we've been expecting you," in unison.
Of course you have.
This one flutters over by you, Tawny, and she says, "You are the rider of Diablo? How nice to meet you." And she flies a little circle around your head, and pixie dust falls in your hair.
You know Diablo? Have you seen my Diablo? Is he okay?
She giggles a little and she says, "Seen him? No."
Where is Diablo? Please tell me.
Make your persuasion. See how well they like Tawny.
Oh, shit. Charisma?
Yep.
Oh, wait, here.
She says that Diablo is staying with... Getting the name copied for you. Avelin. He's safe?
What? No. Where is this Athen, and why do you mean safe?
She giggles and flutters away. And...
Are you high?
Are you
Sayri steps up to you, Ashfire, and she gathers some of the pixie dust in her hand and then puts it to her mouth and blows it at you. And she says, "Yeah, you want to be too?" And flutters away too.
No thanks.
And they, this one wrinkles her nose as you guys come in, and Arnold is close and sees Mongrel, and she says, "There sure are a lot of you, and you smell too."
Well, a little covered in blood here. Not sure about the big guy over there, but yeah, we just got out of a fight.
This one steps over to here, and she says, "Well, we have a bath ready for you if you want to get in and clean up." And she giggles and tries to cover her mouth.
No,
Can I
thanks.
roll a perception check to see what's in the vat?
Yeah.
Dang.
Hard to tell, it's murky. And you're seeing in black and white with your goggles.
Like.
This one flutters over to here, and she says, "Well, it's nice to meet you, Havlarn, son of Sertori." I'll type it out for you. That's what she said. She said, "I can tell by your cloak that you're a native. What news from the castle?" And while that's going on, Tawny demanded to know more from this one. And she says, I don't go around giving out names and addresses of people, even if they are a Steed's rider. What's your name?
I
Party
thought
person.
you knew my name. I am Tawny Firehair, the owner of Diablo. He is half of me and I'm half of him, and I need to find him.
She gives you a bow. She floats up in the air, bows, and then spins around, turns into a curtsy. And she says, my name is Ephribrius.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Please, I need to find Diablo. I need to find him so I could be whole again. Can you help me?
She says, I can help you if you can help me.
What do you need help with?
She says, Diablo is with Aethlin, and I need something from Aethlin. So if you're going there anyway, you might as well stop off and get this thing for me and bring it back.
What do you need?
She says, I need a bit of Aethlin's beard.
Oh, I'd be gladly able to rip out part of his beard for you.
She says, no, 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 don't rip.
Don't you want it by the roots, or do you want me to cut it?
Well, cut.
Oh, man.
I don't think Aethlin would like you ripping anything out by the roots.
Well, since he took my Diablo, I'm going to rip something out by the roots. Whether his beard, his nuts, I don't care. I want my Diablo.
She giggles and she says, I see what you did there, nuts. That's good. And she slaps her knee and she says,
Wow.
You're mistaken, though. Diablo is with Aethlin to be safe. Aethlin didn't steal him. They're in hiding. They're in hiding together from Zliko.
What?
What's this Lico?
Who's
So,
this Lako?
yeah.
She gives you guys a dark look and she covers her mouth and she says, don't say his name too often. If you say it 3 times, he'll appear.
Sliko, Sliko, Sliko.
She screams and covers her ears and stamps her feet.
Let's do that.
And she says, and then opens her eyes and looks around and she says, oh, I guess if smelly, hairy dwarves say it doesn't work. That makes sense.
Why is Liko trying to find Diablo and Aethian?
Aethlin.
That word.
She says, you must be from a long ways off to not know what's going on here. She says, surely you know that the Fomorians have taken the castle. Zliko is a Fomorian. Aethlin is... Well, you know who Aethlin is, don't you? He's the king of the Treants.
No.
Oh, okay.
You didn't know who Aethlin was, and you were making all those great jokes about ripping him out by the roots and talking about his nuts, and he's a Treant, and you didn't even know that? And she
No, but it's
laughs.
pretty funny, isn't it?
She says, you didn't even know how funny you were.
It's natural. I'm sorry. Well, that makes sense because I got Diablo from. It wasn't a treant. It was nature's protector. It was.
She gives you a tisk. She says, you don't even know
Why
where
would
you
a
got
tree people
Diablo
save a
from?
fire horse?
She says, you even met Della the Noble, and you don't even remember?
That was so far ago. I let Della die.
Oh, Della didn't die. She just got trapped.
Damn.
Let's cut to the chase. What's the command word for the mirror?
This one says, I'll make your persuasion there, Ashfire. Cutting right to the chase. Avalon, we'll get to your conversation with that one over there here in a sec.
Ah, yeah.
Punches.
It's a pretty good roll. She says, is that what you guys came here for? All these weird, smelly, hairy, and dead, wrinkles her nose and looks at Mongrel. All these people, and you just want to know
You
the
want to
command
save
word for
this
the mirror?
unicorn or what?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
We're here to
dead?
help.
And she says, oh, you want to release Della? I don't know about that. See, we haven't really picked a
You
side.
don't know about that.
Griff, the water is boiling, so yeah, you burn your arm a little bit.
Owie.
Sorry.
That's why she was giggling when she told you to take a bath. So yeah, your forearm would be a little furless for a little bit. And it smells like wet
Owie.
dog. And they all shriek,
You ruined
and
their
they
soup,
say,
man.
no, you ruined it. Ugh, now I have to start over. And Ashfire wants to know the command word. They say, and this one says, I'm going to have to talk to my sisters to find out whether or not we want to tell you what the command word is. We haven't picked a side, you see. We're not sure if we want the Fomorians to win or the elves to win.
Why is that? Aren't you friends with the Trans?
Friends? Well, no. Aethlin wouldn't give his beard away. Otherwise, I would have just went and got it myself.
What's special about his beard? Why do you need his beard?
For magic.
Magic to do what to him?
She rolls her eyes and she says, well, all right. She says, we don't know what the command word for the mirror is, but we could find out if we had a bit of the beard.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm not sure you're telling all the truth.
I don't know if that's how that works.
Inside check.
Yeah, how are you going to find out with having his beard to do magic to find out a password for a mirror?
Let's see. Let me give some responses. I rolled insight for Griff. I got intelligence checks from Qatar and Griff. What were those for?
That was
Insight.
for the insight check.
Oh, it's wisdom. I rolled it for you anyway. And for Qatar?
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to roll it, or do
you wanted to do an insight as well? I'll roll it for you. Yeah, it is wisdom, by the way. Okay.
Okay.
Can I do one too?
Nope. Through. All right, Arnold. Havlarn. Havlarn, I got a bit extra for you. And while this is going on, Havlarn, you were able to have a conversation with the one over there, kind of off to the side. There you go. By the way, Havlarn, you found out that this one you're talking to's name is Astara. And she chats with you about where you're from. She wants to know where you're from. She chats with you on a few different topics. We can do a back and forth, make a persuasion, and then what would you like to ask her? That's what you guys do. Find out what her name is as well. Cyrie. And let's see, I got insight for Qatar Griff. Tawny, did I get one for you? No. Get yours. And anybody, I got one for Havlarn. Anyone else doing insight? Okay, so what you guys find out while I kind of do a back and forth with Havlarn here, and what you guys find out through chatting with them. Let's see, what have you found out so far? That Aethlin is the king of the Treants. He's being hunted by Zliko, who is a Fomorian. Both of them live in the, Aethlin lives in the Gloaming Glade. These three pixies would like a bit of Aethlin's beard for a spell they're concocting. And as part of that spell, they could discern the command word for the mirror, if you can get a bit of his beard for them. And maybe a couple other favors as well. Yeah, Havlarn, go ahead and do that. Then I gotta check something here. Okay, Havlarn, you don't discern anything else. So you guys know a little bit here. What else do you want to say or do or find out?
I'm going to ask what they're really up to and tell them to stop hiding stuff from us.
Okay, make a persuasion.
But
These two that you guys are kind of talking to, Etherius and Sayri, say they give you a dark look and stamp their feet, and they say, "We're not hiding anything. Coming into our cave and accuse us of being liars and then asking for favors. What rude people."
Yeah, alright, whatever.
And they all look at Havlarn and frown and scoot over here, and they say, "Why don't you show us your true form, son of a satyr?"
What?
Pretty sure that's offensive to half the people in the room.
Is this...
Griff doesn't know what a satyr is.
Havlarn, you got some talking to do.
You literally the son of a satyr? Is that a
Do
thing?
you have something to say?
You've been leading us on here, Avalon?
I don't know if anyone's ever seen Havlarn without his shoes on.
Leading us
Havlarns
on.
have furry feet. Havlarns are
Not like
pretty furry, but that's not abnormal for halflings, I suppose. But he might be busy. We'll gloss over that and keep you guys going, chatting with the others.
Does the furriness continue up onto his haunches?
I don't
does he
know.
have haunches as opposed to legs?
No one has ever pantsed Havlarn to find out, I guess. Nice. Okay. Oh, and I have a sound effect for it too. I built it. So Havlarn breaks into song. I'm reading. He's got a power here. Okay, while Havlarn's plucking away at that, all three of the three sisters scream and grab at their hands, or put their hands to their heads, in pain. And suddenly the song is cut short as Qatar comes up behind Havlarn and yanks his pants down.
What?
What?
And I assume he's probably got a loincloth type of thing. Oh, it's a robe. So maybe hoists the robe. No, he's normal-ish looking legs. He's hairy for a halfling. And the
Can't
three
even talk
pixies,
right now.
three pixies clap their hands and laugh and thank Qatar for ending that awful tune. Let me make some more rolls here just to see. Yeah, while that was going on, Arnold and Tawny, let me check for Tawny. Both Arnold and Tawny, you noticed that, well, you all saw the three pixies screaming and grabbing at their ears. You also saw their forms kind of shimmer a little bit.
Ooh.
Like I said, I think
Tiny
Havlarn, I'm assuming Havlarn had a loincloth. He doesn't have to roll for it if he doesn't want to.
Let's do
I heard
some-
that trouble. I heard that.
Well, all I've had it be is a D20 so far. So get it out of the way, alright? Well, he is a halfling.
Well, he is a halfling.
It doesn't matter when you're a musician, right? Too bad Azov's no longer with us. He actually had a potion for that.
Arnold's gonna divine sense, I guess.
Okay. Alright, Arnold, you use Divine Sense, and that's everything within 60 feet of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you detect Mongrel is undead, and these three are Fey, and
Wow, I could have
Havlarn's
told you that.
also Fey. And yeah, Havlarn, you can keep playing the song. Start it back up again.
Well, the three sisters being Fae is not really... Well, not
Can
what I was
I-
looking for.
Is the cauldron like elevated or anything?
No, it's
I
well, it's on a tripod above a fire.
Can I push it over?
Well, you want to dump it on her? Yeah.
What?
I'll give her a dex save to jump out of the way. Okay, so Griff, you dump the water. It splashes onto her. Hisses, she howls in pain. And you can see as the water hits, it kind of splashes against some sort of invisible wall. It splatters in a weird way, and she screams and falls back in pain, and it sizzles against her for a second. There's more steam than you would think for such a little body. And she glares at you, Griff, and says...
Griff will, Oh, what?
And poofs, she disappears.
Griff will, yell and point and say, "Tiny lady's not tiny!"
Say something else that means something.
And, oh yeah, Havlarn, you can still see her. Because you had cast that other spell. She's there, she's trying to gather her composure.
Tiny lady's not tiny. How you not hear what Griff say?
Actually, let me make one more check here. Yep. Also, Havlarn, for just a moment, I think I can do this. Maybe I can. Havlarn, for just a second, you see the one who disappeared, Ethrebrius, looks quite a bit different. I'll send you a tell, that's how I can do it.
Ooh, so spooky.
3 spoopy-fied me.
3 spoopy, 5 me.
Okay, there you go, Havlarn.
Man, I wish I had some bread.
And then you guys see a little bit later, Cerebrius pops back over here, and she says, "You guys need to muzzle your dog. That hurt. Get a leash on that beast."
Griff will growl at Ethebrius. Ethebrius? That extra R is throwing me off.
She giggles at you.
You know, Cerebrius, I don't even think we need you. What if we just broke the mirror? What would happen then?
Sayri comes over to check on her, and together they say, "Break the mirror then. That will make our job easier. Then Della will be trapped. Well, then Della and Grickbar will have it out between the two of them, and we'll see who wins.
Ah! She was gonna lie, wasn't she?
You'll see who wins. But that won't really help you against you-know-who, will it?"
Voldemort?
Voldemort.
You're supposed to trap Mumra in the mirror.
They say, "Shh,
That's
don't
true.
say his name either."
Then give me the word I'm looking for.
They say, "Well, we can't without a beard from Aethlin." Jeez, aren't you listening?
Are you not understanding? I can't get you the beer without the word.
She says, "Wait, what? You're trying to confuse me."
Is it
No, you're just
working?
being weird. You want two
Is it
things for
working?
one thing. You want that beard to give us Diablo back, and you want that beard to give us the thing. Do you want anything else for the beard? Because then say it now and not when we bring back the beard.
Doesn't
Well, how-
seem like a fair trade to me.
I think we should take one of you girls with us to go get the beard and release Diablo. Then you'll have the
just-
beard.
This one steps
Just-
forward and she says, "I will gladly offer my services to the brave warrior Havlarn and accompany you on your quest." And the other two put their hands up and say, "No, no, no, you have to stay here with us."
Oh, no, let a star come with us. What do you need her for?
"Well, we have to protect our cave, don't we? All kinds of nasty stuff roams these mountains."
You two can do it. You'll be fine.
She says, Sayri puts a finger up and she says, "Uncouth bird, you don't know anything about sacred geometry. There has to be 3.
Geometry.
2 makes a line. 3 makes something else that's not a line at all. That's all I know about geometry.
They roll their eyes and they say, "Birds and their two-dimensional thinking."
What are you even? Are you pixies?
Geometry.
Sprites? What are you?
They giggle and they say, "Pixies, fairies, not sprites. They're ugly."
Hey, you might as well be sprites. You look like them.
Tiny ladies, not tiny.
Fighting words.
Yeah, she says, "Well, you might as well just be a black feathered owl like that thing sitting on that ugly guy's shoulder over there."
One of the most ferocious fighters I've ever seen over there. I'd gladly be him.
Can we possibly stop the bitch fight for a second?
They gasp when Havlarn says hags, and they say, "Who are you calling hag?" All 3 of them.
Well, you 3. Probably. Anyway. Does anyone know this big guy, actually? Tony, you brought him here.
No.
I am yours.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
You're what?
No, I
What?
brought Cord
Of course.
and
The
Arnold.
big guy.
Oh, he followed us. I didn't bring him.
You guys met Arnold.
Yeah, we met Arnold, but I didn't bring that thing. What is that thing? I didn't even notice him.
He asked you to bring him.
Oh, fine, I brought him. God, blaming me for everything.
He was the one asking you to where Arnold was, and you're like,
Because I think he's undead.
I'm
Which,
dead.
What do you mean I'm dead?
you're dead,
I am not dead.
but are you undead?
What?
I am
What?
mongrel. I'm
This-
not dead.
Uh, hmm.
I am yours.
Yeah, you said that. You sh-
Candyman now has candy assistant.
but he's undead. I think
Oh.
this is a
Undead?
really weird situation.
Well, he's
Candy
not,
assistant is just black licorice. Nasty candy, but still
Can I-
candy.
Do divine sense to see if he's undead.
Well, I
Yep.
did that. That's why
Yeah.
I know he's undead.
Oh, you did?
Tawny, you now also know that he's undead.
I don't
No,
like undead.
It'd be metagaming
He's
for
not
anyone
hurting
else.
you, Arnold.
Well, I just told everyone that he's undead.
Yeah. He's
And then he
not
says
hurting
he's
you,
dead.
Arnold.
I am alive. I am yours.
Nah.
I don't. What?
Candyman, he just black licorice.
Like licorice. Griff tried to make
See?
sense once. This.
Nasty candy, but still candy.
The dog makes
Uh,
sense. What can I say?
Mongrel kneels down and bows his head at Arnold.
What are you doing?
I am
Black-
yours.
Oh,
Black
You
look at
keep
him.
licorice
saying
without
that.
candy
Can you
assistance?
elaborate on this?
My name is Mongrel, and you are now my owner.
What?
Candyman now has black licorice
He
candy.
put a handkerchief in his back pocket and now is holding on to it. I'm your bitch, man.
Man, you got yourself a.
A prison wife.
Oh yeah, a rather large undead prison wife.
Um, you're also
Yeah.
awfully positive about this. Just
You
Okay.
kill Algard.
yes, I did. How is that related?
Black licorice
Now I
worked
am
for
yours.
Dragon Mister.
Now, so you were his before?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not into the whole owner thing really, but if you do things that way, then okay. But I don't.
It is our way.
Music man, right? We got things to do.
Yeah, we also have an undead dude standing here that might just be a spy of Mumra or some stuff.
Undead?
You know? Yeah, undead.
Mongrel has a sad face and says, I am alive.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about that later because that might take a while.
How do you explain to something that's dead?
I don't. Most things you don't have to explain to that they're dead because they're dead, and you can't really talk to them. Griff.
Exactly, making this situation even harder.
Okay, we'll just go with it, and everyone, please keep an eye on him.
Ah, the big guy's gonna be fine, isn't he?
Griff will pat him on the back and say, "It's okay, black licorice."
A tear rolls
Is it?
down his eye.
What, no like black licorice? It's K. Griff no like black licorice either. Tastes like
Oh.
ice.
These two arrange themselves here and here, and they give you guys a dark look, and they say, "You're not going anywhere with Astara. Astara, you are staying here with us. You know better. You can't go outside the cave."
Maybe tiny ladies die outside cave.
Why don't you let her make her own decisions, Cyree?
Birdman, stop. Maybe
She
tiny
says-
ladies die outside cave. Cave magic.
She does a hand clamp motion and goes, "Birdman, be quiet."
I'm just saying.
Well, say it into your wing, would you? The rest of you can just go. We're done here. Don't come back unless you have a piece of the beard of Aethelin.
Did Tiny Lady say where find
Oh,
beard? How
Havlarn's
we
giving an
find beard if
ultimatum.
they no tell us where beard?
They back away from you, Havlarn, as you come closer. And they say,
Ben, you
keep...
stole my spell slots, by the way.
Oh, I had copied, or brought you off from the journal tab. Yeah, I forgot to tell you, set those up right. And I'll copy that over to the journal. All right. What was I gonna say? No, Havlarn gave an ultimatum, and they disagree. They say they will not allow Astara to leave. You can leave, however, and don't come back unless you have a piece of beard. And keep your distance, you smelly halfling.
Griff will get closer and say, how we find beard if you no tell us where beard is? You say beard hide, we can't find beard.
They sigh and roll their eyes and look at Tani, and they say, can the dog grow a leash or dog boy, and then explain to him what we've explained to you? The beard is on the treant is in the forest, hiding from the Fomorian.
How do you find a tree in a forest?
They laugh and clap their hands.
I'm still suspicious because of the shimmering thing that happened when Havlarn did some music.
Havlarn told us all they were hags.
Yep, you did mention that.
Oh.
So Astara does start to float out of the cavern, and both Ethebrius and Cyree shout disparaging remarks at Astara. It has the feeling of magic about it. Oh, hold on, that's not set up right.
I'll draw my bow and protect Astara as she starts walking out of the cave.
Let's see. I gotta set this up right. Something's not right here on the spell casting.
So, did we figure out what Havlarn is?
He's a halfling.
He's a half something, half satyr.
He's a fae. Some type.
He is a halfling from the Fae, perhaps?
Alright, Astara takes a little bit of psychic damage from the bark words that Ethebrius and Cyree throw at her. They use vicious mockery on her as she tries to escape.
Can I use my reaction?
And then at that point, it looks like you guys are wanting to do some initiative type stuff, so we'll start right at the top with Ashfire.
I'm gonna use my other hand
Heck.
to just smack her in the hand and say, what was that for? Boom.
Oh, that's a good hit. You guys don't have to reroll initiative. We'll just go straight down here. Let's see. Hit. She howls in pain. And she says, well, what was that for? All I did was tell her she can't
Roll
leave.
for initiative?
No, you already got your initiative up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I've
we'll
changed
just-
it back.
It's no
That was
problem.
more of commanding her not to leave. Instead of telling her. What's wrong with
Ethebrius
you?
says, Astara can't leave. We are the three sisters, not the two sisters.
They
Why
call
not
me that
two
as
sisters?
well.
Why not 2 sisters come with us and 3 sisters still?
Cyree and Ethebrius kind of look at each other over Havlarn's head. They seem to come to some kind of agreement, shaking their heads and say, no, we can't leave the cave. It's not safe out there. And then, so Ashfire whacked Ethebrius one. Arnold, what do you do?
Well, if Astara's coming with us, that's all we need, I think. So I'm gonna hop back on Garrus. And prepare to leave.
All right. What is Mongrel doing?
I'm gonna step here and look at the pixies. Just stare at them.
And Havlarn, what are you gonna do? And they both in unison say, "You're a hag," at Qatar.
These two are really grinding my gears.
Any good pixie would feel like she had performed her duty then. Okay. And Qatar, what are you doing?
I'm gonna shout back, "At least I don't look like a sprite," and then I'll usher Astara out of the cave with me. If she,
Hurry up and get out before they
Yeah.
retaliate.
pretty
right.
much. And so I'll continue to move out of the cave by myself with Astara if she doesn't resist.
Okay.
That's all right.
They continue. Yeah, that's fine. And so on her turn, yep, she will go with you. And as she's doing that, Etherebrius and Cyree begin whispering magic words again, calling out disparaging remarks at Astara. So Havlarn, it's hostile. What did you have prepared?
I'm gonna take my reaction as well.
I thought you did your reaction already.
That was his
That's
turn.
and then I took a turn. Thing. I don't know. It was like a reaction and then it's my turn.
Sheds dim light, attacks, can't benefit from being invisible. Okay, dex save on Etherebrius, she fails. Dex save on Cyree, she passes. And Ashfire, you cracked Etherebrius as well again.
Does
She
the star do
squeals in
anything?
pain, and you see that, yeah, this is while Astara was going. Let me go ahead and roll both of those for Astara as well. So all this happens at the same moment in time.
Can I cover Astara's ears or something?
Yeah, I can give her advantage
If
on
they're
her
yelling
save.
somatic stuff.
She
Oh,
passes
I
both
mean
saves
vocal.
if you cover her ears, yeah. She would have
Yes.
failed one if she didn't have the advantage, as you lightly cover, because you can squish her head if you push too hard.
Right.
Let's see, however, Qatar, you notice something a little weird. As you gently try to cover her head, your hands actually hit something long before they are even close to her ears. Feels like tattered cloth.
Does it feel like a head?
No. Well, hard to say. No, doesn't feel like a head. Probably feels like a lumpy boob under a tattered cloth. And Etherebrius, when she gets hit by Ashfire, shimmers and looks like this.
Fail.
And squeals in unhappiness. Finally failed that concentration.
About time.
Delicious. A lumpy boob.
And so, Qatar, you know there's something wrong with Astara up there. Korg, what are you doing while this goes on? You're talking to an empty room. So are you, Trouble. Well, it's not empty.
I'm just working.
Walking out
Okay.
with guitar.
Astara does try to shrug you off, Qatar. She doesn't want you getting close to her or touching her, but she looks
Okay.
embarrassed rather than fearful.
Of course.
Griff, what are you doing?
Griff is gonna see Dragon Lady attacking, and so Griff is going to attack Sayri.
I was more like bashing her, but go ahead, sure.
1, 2, and 3.
Let's see. Miss, hit, and hit.
2 concentration seed.
Catching up with you here. Okay. You feel your sword hitting. Let's see. Which one missed? You felt your sword whistle through the air next to her, hitting nothing. You cut again, and you feel it hit, but it shouldn't have hit. She kind of floats over your sword, but you hit something. And then you shield bash directly into the space in front of you, and you see kind of a shimmer, and it's strange because the shield didn't even land anywhere close to where Sayri is. And she glares at you as she floats around and points a finger at you and says, "Bad dog!"
Grr.
Alright, and Tawny, what are you doing?
Tiny lady, not tiny.
I am gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a check to see if hags are humanoid. I'm pretty sure they are, but I don't know.
Nature check, that's intelligence. Yeah, well, one of them has revealed itself. They are humanoid. 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, 2
Okay.
eyes, a nose, and a mouth.
Then I'm gonna do I don't know why I don't have this. I'm gonna do a third. Do I want to do a third?
You're overthinking it for Tawny.
I am. I don't want to do that. Never mind. I'm just gonna run in and bash.
Oh, I was thinking on deciding whether or not to use something. Tawny goes all out in my memory. It's been a while since you played Tawny.
It has, but I don't want to do a third level slot. I only got 2. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this hack. She grants combat advantage or whatever, and she's gonna go Mordengrad in the face and say, "You need to just chill out."
Damn. Alright, so Tawny leaps over Havlarn and Griff and bashes poor Threbrius, who groans.
I'm gonna do this one next with the other one.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna tell
It's the
her.
same thing Griff saw, where your Mordencred hits an empty space in the air. And you wouldn't think that that would have hit anything until you see Sayri shimmer, and then this is what's in its place instead, as it loses concentration.
Just
Yeah, they're all so gross.
And she hisses at you and recoils, and she
I can
says,
just imagine what it does.
she says, "Too many dogs in here."
And I walk away, see if they're gonna try and hit me.
Oh yeah, they'll both claw at you with their. They've got these long, spindly fingers with claw talons at the end.
Nope.
She
Yeah.
misses, and she misses. Their claws skitter across Tawny's plate.
Yep. Say somebody needs to pour that water all over them and run.
I did.
The water's
Dude,
already
yeah.
out.
Oh, it's gone. It's not even there.
It would have been, yeah.
Yep.
Griff dumped it, and so it would be kind of
Well,
splashed
let's
out
go.
across the floor here. Ashfire, what do you do?
I'm gonna try and say, now that we've seen your true form, are you gonna tell us what the command word is? Or what are your true intentions?
Make your
Or we're
intimidate.
gonna have to fight. I can use strength, right?
You've hit a few times, yeah. You can base it on strength. I can see that.
That's 15.
Oh, you are proficient in intimidate.
Ah, no, it's strength. No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Wait, let me see.
Uh,
And,
They growl and hiss at you, and
yeah, yeah.
Cerebrius. Oh, you are proficient in Intimidate?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just check.
Cool. All right. So they back down a little, and they glare at Havlarn, and Griff, and Tawny, and Ashfire, and they put their claws up, and they say, "Fine, fine, you win. Just leave us be and get out of our caves."
No, what about the command word?
Ah, command word, command word. And they say, "Put away your weapons and we'll talk." And they glare at Astara.
How about you
And
talk and then we put away our weapons?
Cyree also
You're
says,
outnumbered.
"I will only talk if Astara also drops her illusion." And so, Arnold, what are you doing during this time?
I don't. Why can't we just have normal conversations when we're meeting people?
Because you're in the Feywild, there are no normal people.
And because that's not fun.
Have you ever seen the movie Labyrinth?
I've seen Pan's Labyrinth.
No.
Pan's Labyrinth
Wait,
fits?
oh wait,
There are
the
no
Labyrinth
normal.
with David Bowie.
Yep.
Yeah, Labyrinth's the David Bowie with his codpiece as the.
Well, that, just as an aside, that codpiece has nothing on Conan in Red Sonja.
Best supporting actor for Labyrinth. David Bowie's codpiece.
So yeah, you don't meet normal people in the Feywild. Unfortunately, Arnold, you haven't met many normal people anywhere.
Yeah, I'm the only normal person wherever we go. Well, Havlarn is okay.
Well, you're about to
Well,
find
yeah.
out. Havlarn is also not a normal person.
Yeah, but I want to believe, so be quiet. Arnold's just gonna sigh when she demands that Astara drops her illusion and casts Dispel Magic on Astara.
Oh, hell. Nice. All right, Astara turns slowly. Well, actually, she kind of ducks and covers and tries to rush out of the cave when they make that demand. And then you cast it on her, and she stops about here, slumps her shoulders, and then turns to look at you guys. And she's got a sad, downturned face, like she doesn't want you to look at her.
She is so beautiful.
She tries to hide her face from you all. She says, "Don't look at me."
I'm in love.
See, only weird people.
Trouble just looked up Callahan's codpiece from Red Sonja, so yeah, she's getting a good laugh. Isn't that major?
Here's another one.
Yep. So, okay,
Okay.
Arnold threw a Dispel Magic.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep, that shut
I'm gonna
down.
make
Poor Astara.
Garrus move to the exit, and hope that we're all get moving.
Yep, Mongrel, what are you doing?
Mongrel's a little confused that Arnold's leaving, but he'll follow him. And squeeze into the exit.
It's getting packed, but you guys are making your way out. Havlarn, what are you doing? Oh, nice. She seems shamefaced, and she says to Havlarn, "I can help you find the command word, with or without my sisters. But I don't know it." And Ethrebrius and Cyree both shout at her, "You're nothing without us. You won't find anything. Leave this cave and die." To all of them. Ethrebrius tries to draw herself up on the proud, and she says, as a little spittle shoots out of her fanged mouth as she talks, and she says, "The deal remains. Think what you will of us, but we can find the command word with a bit of the beard of Aethelin. She says that is a requirement, no matter what, because you know who is watching. Anyone who tries to discern the command word, you know who will find out. But if we have a bit of the beard of Aethelin, we can disguise our efforts.
Oh,
And
see,
she holds
that's
up a
all we
bony,
needed was an explanation.
bony finger, and she says, "There's a reason that Zliko has not found Aethelin yet, isn't there?"
All we needed was the reason.
They both spit at your feet, Griff, and they say, "Reasoning with dogs."
Dogs need reason too,
Okay,
especially for not tiny ladies.
Havlarn, you've rolled a knowledge check on this creature. I'm pretty sure I can actually click and drag this to your sheet or your button here, and it will pop up. I hope this works. Didn't work. It worked one time. I remember it did. There and there. Sean, did you get a pop-up? Okay.
Yeah.
So you know all that stuff about this creature. Rolled pretty good. So as far as fighting goes, yeah, you would know that as well out of the monster manual. Yeah, that at least in the Feywild, covens do occur in. Well, 3 is kind of a magic number, no matter where you go. But you can tell from. I can give you this much from your knowledge of hags. It's a bit unreasonable that these two would be so upset about Astara leaving. You're not sure why that would be. There doesn't really seem to be a significant reason why. So that part's confusing. Or for that matter, why Astara is so eager to leave. And Astara confirms. She says, "I can't give you a promise, but I think I can tell you." And both of the other two start shouting and hooting at Astara and trying to use vicious mockery to keep her from talking anymore about what she might know. And they call her traitor and betrayer.
Dang, Hadlarn's not messing around.
Yep.
Damn.
Havlarn seems a bit more proud than maybe you've ever seen him be. Rolled an intimidate for you, Havlarn, and since halflings can't fumble, the original roll was a 1, the second one was not so much. Yeah, Havlarn draws himself up. He doesn't look 3 feet tall. He looks pretty big as he stares down a couple of hags, and they cower. And they wave their hands and they say, "Fine. Take that witch and get out of our cave, and Astara, you ever show your face in these mountains again, and we'll claw it off you."
Can we just kill them now?
Good question. No.
Alright, so Qatar, what are you doing during all this?
I'm just gonna shake my head. Be a little shocked at the no longer pixie, in front of me, and I'll just push past people and walk out of the cave.
Okay. And yeah, she easily lets you go past. She tries to hide her face, but with her forearm. Of course, you just groped her. That was the lumpy boob you grabbed.
I'm gonna give her a little reassuring pat on the shoulder. Tell her it's gonna be all right as I walk out.
And we've talked about how do birds smile, and you showed us a picture before.
Yes. That's exactly how I do it too.
All right. both Ithrebrius and Cyree do some sort of weird magic gesture and look a little surprised. Havlarn would know this, so he can relay it to you guys with his spellcraft knowledge, that they both tried to cast invisibility and were unable to because of Tawny's lantern.
Oh.
MBD.
So they're a little pissed, and they kind of recoil to the back of the cave. And of course, this one still glows with fairy fire. Anything you're doing, Korg?
Just leaving the cave.
Got it. Griff?
Griff will he'll back out of the cave, but still stay facing them, and he'll make the two-finger gesture. That he's like, I'm watching you.
Yep. Point at your eyes. Point at them. Point at your eyes. Point at them. Nice.
As he backs out of the cave.
That
Tawny?
wasn't the two-finger gesture I first thought of when he said that.
You thought it was the British two-fingered flip-off thing? Probably one even worse than that. Go ahead, Tawny. Whatever you gonna do.
Try to leave.
Okay.
But everybody's in my way, so how?
Yeah, I'm just seeing if anybody does anything different. Ashfire, are you leaving?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll take a quick AFK. Since it's a good time for it, everybody needs it probably. And I'll come back and Astara will tell her story. And you guys exit the cave, leaving Cyree and Ithrebrius to their devices. Be right back.
Well, this has definitely been an interesting adventure.
Indeed.
I wasn't expecting the hags, but can't say I was surprised.
I am back. Looks like most of you are back.
Mm-hmm.
I got a comment and a disclaimer real quick, and then I'll jump back in here. The disclaimer. Oh, I already forgot my train of thought here. Oh, I remember now. Yeah, this past week, while at work, I did some studying on Norse mythology because of the Jotuns. Well, basically, I looked up Jotuns, and that put me right in the middle of Norse mythology, going in about 4 directions. Man, talk about a convoluted web. But I found it to be way interesting. I did some reading. Anybody who knows a lot about Norse mythology, I hope you don't mind my butchering of it. But I made it kind of apply to the setting here, since there are Jotuns and Furbolgs, and there's some parallels between. The comment is, the way I've always tried to run adventures is to like come up with the adventure, but I don't want it to be on rails. You know what I mean? So what I've always done is like, here's the story, but I don't have in my head a way for you to really solve it as players, because I want you guys to come up with it, and it's more fun for me if it's a surprise to me how you solve it. And so I leave it in your hands on how you do it. Sometimes it's exactly the way I expect it to be, and sometimes you guys come up with some pretty good ideas and ends an adventure way before I think it will, or an adventure will pan out much further than I thought. For example, when Korg and Vuk went under the water, just crossing a bridge of rushing water, I didn't know that would turn into a whole encounter, and it did, just rescuing him. And on the other end of it, Arnold casting Dispel Magic on the Ghost Pirate ship. He pretty much crit that ship, and the ship disappeared. So, I don't mean... What's that?
He just ended an encounter with 1 Dispel Magic?
Well, he shut down the ship, which is where all the Ghost Pirates didn't die or anything because they could fly. But I mean, there was a whole ship there that suddenly wasn't there, and the obelisk that was powering the ship kind of fell into the water, and I mean, the whole adventure took a bend that I was not expecting. And so it keeps me on my toes. I try to be as neutral as I can, but at the same time, it's more interesting for me if I don't know what's going to happen. So I leave things a little open-ended where I can. So I don't have anything specific on this adventure. I just want to let you guys know that, as you've seen on the main page, I got a lot of irons in the fire. There's a lot going on. It's about to expand a little bit more here with the storyline, and I don't always have a solution in mind. Like with this one, I didn't know what you guys were going to do with the 3 pixies who were hags in disguise, and then some, as you're about to find out. And so that was just my little comment there, that it's not as on rails as it would seem sometimes.
It's all good. It's fun nonetheless.
Yeah, as long as you guys are having fun. I thought that was fun. I thought it was interesting. You guys chose not to kill the hags. Let them keep doing their thing. They will have to find a new 3rd member of their coven. Okay, to the matter at hand. I know Havlarn can't talk, so we'll probably have to do a back and forth, probably tomorrow or sometime when he can talk a little more. But I can give you one direction information. Here's what Astara knows, and she offers it freely. She immediately, when she can, recasts the illusion. She does not like looking like a hag. This is what she looks like in her preferred form. Now, Havlarn, I mentioned something to you before where 2 of the hags, when you were looking at them through your magic, kind of see invisible. 2 had shadows kind of stooping over them. The 3rd one had a shadow stooping over it, being Astara, and then a 3rd shadow kind of glancing over its shoulder. What you find out from Astara is that she's actually Queen Astara. She was the Queen of Caer Therohir. She was in charge of the castle. She was the one who maintained the alliance with Della the Unicorn. But when the Fomorians attacked, they didn't kill her. They knew the worst thing they could do to a pixie queen, a fairy queen, was to disfigure her and let her loose, which is the worst thing you can do. She hates being ugly. She can't stand it. So she went and hid in the mountains and went the only place where an ugly person would be accepted, a coven of hags. So she kind of formed an alliance with these other two hags, somewhat involuntarily, just to save her own skin. But when Havlarn appears, like she said in the beginning, she greeted him as son of Sertori. And she explains that Sertori is Havlarn's dad. Sertori is a satyr. Let's see if I meant to build it. Let me make sure that I did. You guys can easily, I didn't. You guys can easily Google satyr to know what they look like. That was on my to-do list, and sorry I didn't get it done. They are goat men. They are humanoid in shape. They have goat hooves and lower halves. They are horrible perverts. They love sex and loud music and booze, and they're party animals. Wow, that's a neat sound. They also have, they usually have beards and horns, curled horns on their heads, and they are musicians as a rule. As we were mentioning earlier, Tawny met Della, the noble, who offered her the choice between a unicorn and a nightmare when they met. At that, there was a crossing point to the Feywild, which is actually what that ruin was that you went to, Tawny. And so that's the crossing point that Sertori actually came through to meet Havlarn's mom. And him being a giant pervert, went and found the nearest whorehouse and went to town. And she just happened to have a baby who happened to be half halfling, half satyr, hence his bent towards magic. And Havlarn, to your credit, what you find is that you get Fey ancestry, the race feature, which is can't be charmed, can't be put to sleep, all the stuff. If you look under elf, you now have that as a racial, and that's why you showed up as a Fey when people did detect. The two paladins did their detection. That's why you showed up as a Fey. You have Fey ancestry. Otherwise, you would pretty much appear to be a halfling. But with, the magic music kind of thing, you've got a natural talent for it. Okay, so Sertori is your dad. He was a satyr. Also, you guys would be able to discern, since that's a crossing point from the Gloaming Glade to the natural world, that place is actually pretty close to where the Drow incursion occurred. So you figure that's probably where the Drow are now, getting through later in the adventure. So here they are working for the Fomorians, and then they show up having taken over the Gloaming Glade. The Drow are, this overshadowing presence through the whole campaign without really ever playing a hand. Okay. So you find out Astara was the queen. She says also, Havlarn, you find out that there was a prophecy involving you. She didn't want to play her hand too soon with the other hags. She wanted to keep it a secret. She says that she might be able to discern the name of the command word for the mirror. But that's a whole other story. I'll hold that off for just a second. She says there is a prophecy surrounding you, Havlarn, that it was involving her, actually. She was able to glimpse the future with her queen fairy power, and being one of the leaders of the Seelie court, that a knight would appear to restore her rule. And she had no idea that her rule would be interrupted or that she would ever need a knight. But then the Fomorians came and dethroned her, and then shortly after you appear. So Havlarn, she offers you her glamour to fulfill your quest and restore her to the throne, and you will become her knight errant. Glamour with a U, that's correct. Glamour with a U is magic. It's fairy magic. So that is Fey Pact. So you now have all of your warlocky stuff that you've been holding off on. You also get 2 servants. If you want to use them now, you got your steed and also your familiar. He has pledged himself as the knight, so well done. First thing that happens, let's see if I can drag you out here. There's Havlarn. Drag you out a little, Havlarn. And Astara. This is just between the two of you. The rest of you could kind of hang out. You'd be aware of everything going on, but it's an exchange between Havlarn and Astara. And she takes out a little scepter that has pixie dust flowing off of it, and she sets it to each of his shoulders and declares that Havlarn is now her knight errant, whose quest is to put her back on the throne. She says, to aid you in this quest, I give you Adnead. Give you the name here. I didn't have him set up. There we go. And that's him, a familiar, and he is a sprite. So he, the fairy dust that spills out from her scepter flows around his head and coalesces to form a little sprite that floats around. And I've just noticed that the token's not quite set up since you can't see through him. And I will assign you that token. You now can control him. Give me 1 second. You can rename him if you want as well. Totally up to you. Okay, he should be set up right. You should be able to control him. And then in front of you appears this creature. And just as your eyes start to focus on it, it disappears and reappears, gives a playful bark. And as you turn to look around, there it is standing behind you. Sorry, that's not the right name. You named him. There you go, Shona. It's a fairy knight. A bard makes a fantastic fairy knight. Alright, let me make sure that I got that set up right for the token. And you now have a blink dog mount as your steed. We put him to the back so you can actually ride him, and assign him to you so you can control him as well. I actually I wanted to postpone this a little bit just so you'd be able to talk, Sean, but you guys got here anyway. So here you are. Got all your class features finally intact. And this back and forth, Astar is apparently, the way the adventure turned out, Astar is going to be hanging out with you guys for a while. The queen, who was a hag, who is a queen. She's been disfigured. That's that third shadow. She was disfigured by the Fomorians into a hag. So she used her hag powers to make herself back into a fairy. So she's got layers of illusion and disfigurement. But she'll be hanging out with you guys for some time. And so you'll be able, maybe when you can talk tomorrow, we can do a better back and forth. And you can ask some questions and stuff. She knows a little bit about your dad, Sir Torre. He was an inveterate, I think that's the right word, pervert, a good satyr, and knocked up your mom a long time ago, and she didn't really realize it until now, but when she looked at you, she saw who and what you are. In mechanical terms, the Evil Eye Curse does end at a long rest, but this one was set by King Grickbar himself, and so was permanent.
Okay.
His AC will be referenced, if you want to, for your reference, you certainly can. I don't know if you put barding on him or not. You should be able to edit all of his page. I went ahead and put the hit points and all that. It should be right. But his AC is just a reference on attack rolls on my end. But you can put it in there if you want it for your reference. That's fine. He didn't have anything else to do with the green bar. And I got the blink ability was this little three-pronged deal. I probably didn't put it on there to begin with. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. And as you can see, Tyelka was the name that I had picked for him. Shona's totally fine too. I did do, just to my credit, I did a little research. There is a website that translates Tolkien's Elvish language into English, and so Tyelka was Elvish for swift. Boulette. I think I got rules for the level, but yeah, when you get to that level, that might be a cool steed for Arnold. You only got 3 levels to go. Won't take long. Alright, so Havlarn has the Blink Dog, a Sprite familiar that, because it's given through a Warlock Pact, can actually use in one of his attacks. And Astara will be accompanying you guys. Okay. And you left the other two witches, hags, alive. And Astara has no problem with that. She's actually a little relieved that she didn't have to see any death. But at the same time, she had no real loyalty to the other two. And just to reiterate, this is what Astara looks like in her natural form, or her disfigured form. And so she tries to keep that hidden as much as she can with minor illusion cantrip. So if you get too close, you'll probably feel slimy skin or lumpy boob like Qatar did.
All for the lumpy boob, man.
But however, now the rest of the story. There's a lot more going on. Astara says basically, and this will be better served when I can do a back and forth with Havlarn, but she says discerning the command word for the Mirror of Life trapping, she might be able to do on her own through you guys. She can help guide you to a place where someone wiser even than herself could tell you that. However, time is a factor, and as the other hag said, they were not lying. Zliko is searching for Aethlin, and she would very much like to see the Treant King survive. That would, and in fact, if you can rescue him, he would be just as much, if not more so, of a factor in assaulting Caer Thero here as the Furbolgs. So it's a second faction you guys can assemble to help assault the fortress, is the Treants.
Yes.
But you have to rescue the Treant King to do it.
The assault on Isengard.
Yes. Yep. And so now you guys are seeing. You got the. Go ahead, Griff. What are you saying?
What's to stop them from lighting him on fire and turning him into an evil Treant?
Ah, Stara is very glad you asked. She said, you are a very perceptive little dog man, and she gives you a pat on the head, and fairy dust glitters around you, around your snout. And she says, that is an excellent question. Aethlin is not without his own defenses, and she gives a sad look at Tawny, and she says, that's why Diablo went into hiding with him. It was the only safe place left in the gloaming glade. He lives in the center of a maze of forest at a circle of standing stones that protect him from detection of he who shall not be mentioned and the Furbolgs in general. So if we can get to him first and kill Zliko, or stop him, you can tell she doesn't even like saying the word kill, then we will have rescued Aethlin, and he will be an incredible asset to our victory. And of course, and she bows at you, Tawny, Diablo would be returned to you.
Okay, I guess we go for Aethlin then.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the Jotuns to go stop, but we also need to sate Tawny's lust for Diablo at this point.
And as you guys can see, maybe I've spread things out too far. I got too many irons in the fire. It is not Denegrin Grotto. Denegrin Grotto exists way up in the mountains. The Gloaming Glade is down in the forest. You are up in the mountains already, and Astara says Aethlin has his own layers of defense. He will be okay if you guys seek to end the Jotun threat first. She recognizes that you've made an alliance with the Furbolgs, and she said you've done what she could never do. Their savage nature meant that they would never respect her because she had no strength, physical strength of her own, and they would never form an alliance with her. But through your passing the test of stone, which she couldn't do, maybe you've got even more formidable allies than she thought you were capable of. And seeking their alliance to liberate Caer Thero here would be just as good as the Treants, and Aethlin can probably wait. So, but yeah, Diablo is with him. I pointed out at the very beginning when you came to the Feywild that Feywild steeds and a lot of familiars come from the Feywild, so that's where Diablo went for safety. Alright. So this part, I'll stop talking and you guys can kind of determine what you want to do.
I think the vote is big people.
Didn't
Already
you
here.
guys want to rest and stuff?
Yeah,
Wasn't
I'd
the
like
reason
to.
we went into this cave to begin with?
Yep,
Yeah.
and I was just looking
Yeah.
at that. You guys would be able to set up a camp and hopefully keep safe from flying creatures. Unless you want to try and rest in the cave. You know, the two hags won't like it, but they won't necessarily stop you either. Then you guys can have the long rest that you need. I know a lot of you need it. You'll only regain half your total hit die, but all of your hit points, so don't spend any hit die. I know some of you are hurt. Of course, you also get all of your spells and features, so that's helpful. Extended rest, long rest, 8 hours. And this is your chance. This is where Astara relays all the information she has, almost all. You can tell she's holding some back because it's not necessary yet, such as her resource on how to find the command word for the mirror. She needs to consult and ensure before she gives any guarantees. Wow, that's some bard magic there, Hevlarn. I'm gonna go ahead and retie your token to that. And I think I've done enough. And I have it planned, but I think I've done enough talking for now, and I don't want to spread out the adventure too much more. You guys already know you've got the major overarch is stopping Mum-Ra here in his apotheosis to become the new god of the Black Sun. To accomplish that, first you need to stop whatever effort he is trying to do here in the Feywild. That much Astara can tell you. There are 3 seals of night. One in the material world, which is under the big pyramid in the material world, so that's not done. There's one here in the Feywild that is actually underneath in the Dawnforge Mountains where you are now. It's under a major volcano, just like it is in the material world. And there's one in the Shadowfell, which you guys haven't even scratched yet. And that's why I raised the level of the campaign. Things started panning out more and more and more.
Yeah, Shadowfell's gonna be fun. Stupid dragon hanging around and shit.
Yep, and you guys have enemies in the Shadowfell, so you see how everything kind of circles around and comes back again to bite you in the ass sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that part of the campaign.
And if you guys relate that, Astara will admit that Mum-Ra has sent out the call for allies, and you can most assuredly expect to see Cathindir when you get to the Shadowfell waiting for you. And you should be cautious.
Yeah.
But we have plenty to worry about before that. Have learned you're able to control Adnayed, right? And all of his macros and stuff. Let me check again. Maybe I didn't set him up right. No, you should be able to. He's right here.
I see him.
Can you move him? You got control of him? Alright, cool. I saw you moving. So you got all the stuff. He can see everything he can do. He is a familiar with just like any familiar, he only has, well, he's got 2 hit points, which is 1 more than most other familiars. But he can do some things. Okay, you guys got your long rest. That's good. And this all occurs during the long rest. And I've done a lot of yapping here. Let me move you guys ahead as you are seeking to do one last thing. I need to move this to the map layer. Alright, now I can get you all without getting the cauldron that's been dumped over. You're looking to end the threat of King Ivir and Queen Frafni, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And I have to ask, how's everybody doing on time? Or is everybody going to stick around? I know it's a lot of story.
Still got 2 hours.
Yeah.
I can do another 2 hours.
Okay.
2 or 3. Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
good on that.
I think I'm gonna head out and gotta get up early.
Okay. Mongrel will just kind of follow along Arnold. 1,000-yard stare. He is the one who said it, for what it's worth. I'm just repeating his words.
Well, the whole thing's going to be interesting anyway.
Yeah, that part. I wasn't going to stop you guys from chit-chatting about it. That's a whole other element that we're going to have to see what happens. He sprung that on me here just at the start of the session. And on you as well. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not going to try and control anybody. We'll see what goes on. He's he didn't do much in the way of description. He is half giant. So he is actually the same size as a furbolg, a bit bigger than Griff. Not in height, but in girth.
He's not obviously decomposing either. Like the layperson wouldn't know that something's wrong. Maybe he has a disease or something.
He's just a leper. So yeah, like Sam said there. I know some of you guys are on. Okay, looks like everybody's okay on time. We'll just keep running. Zamp, that's no problem. I'm glad you were able to get in. You haven't been in a couple weeks. And I'm looking forward to see what Mongrel does, whether the party tries to put him down or otherwise. Like I was saying before about the adventures, I don't put any controls in place. I don't govern you guys in your actions. And sometimes it's good, most of the time it's good. Every now and then it's bad, and I have to step in. I hate those times.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe next weekend.
Yeah, no problem. So Mongrel will just kind of be in the background for a while. No problem. I got the rest of you. With Astara, of course. And Astara is definitely in the background. She is not a combatant. Has no interest in fighting and finds the sight of blood entirely distasteful. Doesn't like it. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me through a lot of heavy storyline. You guys come back out of the cave, rested. Some of you 100%, but not all of you. And there's plenty more storyline to go. We'll see. However, let's see. Let me get all my ducks in a row here. I try to make notes for myself. Sometimes I'm more successful than others. Give me 1 second here. I'm just doing some copy paste. There he is. I say I had lost something that I knew was right here. Okay. You guys just think I'm just sitting doing nothing. All the time, sitting doing nothing. Twiddling my thumbs. Okay. That. Whoops. That's what I want. As you guys already know, this mountain range is anything if not hostile.